All right, moving on to the next topic of the week. Who is this? Whose turn is it? Is my turn? Your turn?
It's the Blockbuster series on Netflix.
Whose turn? Who wants to go for it? Joy. What's the next topic of? Oh, I mean, it's. I didn't write a statement, so it's just. So guys, if you don't know, Blockbuster has a new series coming out on Netflix, and I didn't change the. Oh wow, I didn't change the sidebar from yesterday. Sorry about that, guys. Let me stop that. Let me get rid of that. And what the hell is this? Look, I'm all messed up. Blockbuster has a new series coming out on Netflix. It's supposed, from what I read, it's supposed to be like the later years, latter years of
so
Blockbuster
like
when it was dying out.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, like Blockbuster was the Netflix of the 90s.
Yes,
It was a video store where physical media. So I'm sorry for you millennials.
Tangible.
Physical media, yes, is tangible like DVDs, VHS. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. VHS. No, I can't go into the whole history about physical media. Look, Blockbusters used to be the thing that like just like going to the movies. When movies came to when home theaters became more popular, Blockbuster was the franchise to get your rentals and your movies when they finished their run on the theaters. Every Tuesday, I believe, is when my mom took me and my brother to go see, to go look at the.
We had Blockbuster and Hastings.
Never heard of it.
Hastings?
I only ever did Blockbuster.
We had Hastings.
I had my local like small chain.
Yeah, there were small chains.
There were small chains. I can't remember the name of it, but I remember Blockbuster when it became big.
Wasn't there one called like New Cinema here in Houston or something like that? It was like a smaller like.
You just made that up.
I really didn't. I promise. But it was like they would even take over the Blockbusters that shut down. Those sort of buildings. But they were around a bit.
Hastings was here even just a few years ago. It just was all mostly books.
Yeah.
Boring. It's about Blockbuster. All about Blockbuster.
Well, this show is specifically about like the last.
They're falling apart. Look,
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, like Blockbuster, like I said, Blockbuster was the king rental store. They even had an awards, Blockbuster awards thing where for a little while. They were the king. When Netflix was invented in like the late 90s or early 2000s, they offered them so that their whole premise was instead of you going to the rental store, we'll mail the
You got the DVD to your house.
which was very expensive for them at the time to maintain. But they thought that they had a good idea. And it's something that I say on this channel a lot. Never underestimate the laziness of the average human being.
Absolutely.
So time would tell that the Netflix guy was correct. Blockbuster, they offered themselves up on a silver platter to Blockbuster. Do you want to buy our company or merge or whatever? Blockbuster was all like, no, nobody cares about your movies being mailed. People want to go into our stores, and so they didn't buy them. And
But I did love going into the store.
it was true.
It was nostalgic, and I like remember it.
Get your popcorn and
Yes, you would
They were right. It was almost like going to the theater. It was an event.
Yeah,
it was a
that's
thing
it.
to do.
fighting with people like, who just turned the movie in? Is it the one?
Yes, and then you would like. if there's
Which was
left,
one of the
you'd be
things
like,
that was
yeah.
their undoing.
Yes.
Look, I used to work for Blockbuster,
Be kind, rewind.
which was one of their undoings. Those late fees and stuff. Blockbuster used to make the most of their money from late fees, not memberships.
That's accurate.
But over time, Netflix membership started to grow because the laziness of the average human was starting to build. Like, why I don't always have time to go to. I like the fact that it gets mailed into me and there's no late fees. There was one of those things that made Netflix more appealing. Once.
Do you know I still have my Blockbuster card?
Please bring it. I need one. I want to see one.
It's like packed away, but I will pull it out. and find it.
I threw mine away a long time ago, but now I'm mad. I used to have a lot of Blockbuster stuff because I used to work for them.
It's like the little laminated thing.
Please bring it. But Netflix offered themselves up to Blockbuster on a silver platter, and Blockbuster said no. Once Netflix started to gain more memberships, and once they went online, Blockbuster saw that they were losing stores. They were bleeding money like crazy. Then they tried to make themselves like Netflix. They made their own online thing. They started to stream movies and stuff the way Netflix was doing it. But by that time, it was too late.
Yeah.
In this industry, it doesn't matter if you're the best, because Blockbuster technically had a better offer. You can order your movies online just like you can do with Netflix, and instead of putting it in the mailbox, you can just go to our stores and drop it off and get another movie after. They had a better deal. But Netflix did it first, which means people were used to doing it through Netflix, and they were cheaper.
They were cheaper at that time.
They forced Blockbuster to abandon their late fees policy,
Yep.
which was the beginning of the end of Blockbuster. Like I said, the majority of Blockbuster's money was coming from their late fees, not their membership money. The thing that made Blockbuster kind of limp along was the whole video games. They rented video games. Like Netflix wasn't doing that at the time.
Yeah.
They were doing video. So they
tried.
they were still limping along.
Yeah, they tried.
But by the time Netflix went to the digital age and they started, that was it. That was the beginning of the end. And this series, which ironically will play on the company that thought that they were not worthy, this story is playing on Netflix. This is about the latter years.
Irony.
The irony of it. What was that, Mike Jones? Back then you didn't want me, now you all on me.
Irony.
You know what's ironic? To the exact year. I think I forgot how old Netflix is. I think I'm gonna say 20 years old. I know it's 21 or 22. Let's just say 20 years. When Blockbuster announced that they were like going out of business, it was like that was on their like 20th year anniversary. So 21, 20, whatever. Netflix is now that exact same age Blockbuster was when they started filing for bankruptcy and falling apart.
Really?
Netflix is now that exact same age, and now Netflix is having their problems. Their stock is going down.
Really?
They're losing millions of followers and stuff.
I didn't realize
Where Blockbuster was then and where Netflix is now is totally different situation. It's a bad situation that Netflix is in now, because of all the competition. Yeah. Netflix told themselves that we need to become HBO before HBO figures out how to become us, before they invent their own streaming service and stuff. And so they put things in place. They're still losing subscribers, but they still have the most subscribers out of all the other streaming services. So they're in a better place than Blockbuster was at the time. It's just ironic that they're the exact same age Blockbuster was when they went out of business. And now they're losing shit too. But I think this is hilarious. That the fact that there is a Netflix series that's coming out about the end of Blockbuster.
It's pretty amazing, no lie.
So that's the question. Will you guys? Do I have the graphic up? What the hell? Why is it not? Do I have too many? There we go. Will you guys be checking out? Look at this cast right here from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yep.
And
which I'm excited about because they're both funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see how this goes. I really am. I think it's going to be a fun show.
I think so too. I agree. What about you, baby? Is this a show that you think you're gonna check out?
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna.
You like comedy?
Yeah.
And anything with is it? I know it's not. His real name isn't Jimmy Woo. Is it? What's his
It's
real?
like him.
Yeah,
Russell.
something. Guys in the live chat, let's look up if you guys can look up their real names.
Her name is Melissa Fumaro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I loved her in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I see them together. I like the look. That is exactly how the stores look. They brought in these cheap bookshelves. Like I said, I used to work for Blockbuster for years, and I worked for Hollywood Video.
Hollywood Video. I forgot about Hollywood Video.
Yeah, I remember when Hollywood Video was making their commercials, competing with, you can keep your rental for 5 days, not the 3 days like Blockbuster. Like, bring that shit back in 3 days or else. Like, Hollywood Video was all like 5 days. You can keep your movie for a week.
His name is Randall Park. Melissa Fumaro.
Okay.
This is just, I'm looking forward to watching this because I'm looking for the nostalgia, the feels. I'm looking to go back to, I hope they captured the feel it was to go into one of those stores.
This is so nostalgic and wonderful. I still have the best memory. I mean, you know, my parents were divorced, so my dad would pick us up for his weekend, and we'd go to
Just go to Blockbuster. Yeah.
We get movies for the weekend.
That's why I'm showing my kids Smallville, right? But yeah, it was a thing. It was an event, and I hope they capture that. And I hope that the former owners of Blockbuster will watch, because the irony of their former competitors being the ones who are going to be streaming and showing this movie off. It is hilarious. That's what the heck is wrong with that? Why is that lower? Why is that not showing the correct thing? That's weird. That shouldn't be there. Anyway, but guys, let us know what you guys think about. Nixon. I was in Bend, or for a sec, where the last Blockbuster still exists. People still love it. Still visit. Was it Alaska?
Bend, Oregon that's what I think so.
Yeah, where the last Blockbuster is.